and there's the Hinura Valley. Now, this property we're on, this is the Alexanders. If you look on the back of your brochures, you'll actually see a photograph of the three Alexander brothers. They're Craig, Russell and Dean. You'll also see an insert of their father Ian. Now, these guys, they are the only sheep farmers in this area, so it isn't too hard for you to pick out which is their property. Wherever you see those little white dots in the distance, those are sheep. They are the only sheep farmers, guys. They actually spoke with Peter Jackson. He told them that the calibre of road he required them to build, it needed to carry around 120 vehicles a day. Some of those vehicles being 44-tonne truck and trailer units. So the road had to be made of a very high standard. Out to the right-hand side of the vehicle there, guys, you can appreciate why the Alexander's property was chosen. Because of all that lovely rolling landscape you're seeing out there in front of you. And wherever you see a white dot in the distance, guys, it is a sheep. Yes, it does belong to the Alexanders. 1,250 acres, or 500 hectares, as you may know it by. Now, have we all watched the movie, guys? Yeah, the set left here. Secondly, start running these tours. Now, that permission, guys, it took over 2 years to obtain. And it wasn't until the 2nd of December of 2002 that we officially started running these tours. Originally on the location, guys, there were 37 hobbit holes, of which we have 17 remaining. And of the remaining 17, one of these is the home of Bilbo and Frodo Baggins, otherwise known as Bag End. Remembering though, guys, it is not as you saw it in the movie, as all those interior shots were done in the studio in Wellington and not here on our location. When the Alexanders did get permission to start running these tours, of course they got guidelines on things they can. They dress up as a hobbit. We can't paint the facades of the hobbit holes as they featured in the movie. We can't even plant flowers around them. We can only show you these hobbit holes as they were left by New Line in March 2000 when they did leave. In saying that though, guys, we are very fortunate to be the only ones left with actual set. This fence line you're seeing just to the left-hand side of the vehicle, guys, that's actually the boundary fence between the Alexanders and their next door neighbour. That fence, well, it actually starts on the main road where we drove over. If it's not written in the contract, you just don't do it. As far as the Alexanders were concerned, they said, mate, we've already signed one contract, go ahead and do it, we'll talk about it later. Now we feel it's because of that kind of attitude was one of the main reasons why the Alexanders have actually got a set left here today. Thankfully, guys, that was the last gateway to actually go through, so we are just about there. As we make our way over this rise and down the hill, on the right-hand side of the vehicle, guys, is where the first car park was built. This is actually known as the technical car park. Alexanders tell us they came through here one day, counted over 170 vehicles spanning on both sides of this road, right along the boundary fence up to where the two trees are. On the right-hand side of the vehicle now, guys, on the grassy plateau, is where the Hobbiton movie set was constructed. Once those facades have been fully constructed, they'll be then carried down that track on the right-hand side of the vehicle, along the dugout hill, into the Hobbiton movie set, which is actually located on the other side of that ridge there today. But as you make your way to the top of the hill here, guys, there are a couple of things to be aware of. Number one, the whole farm itself is a smoke-free farm. And number two, if you take a look at the windows of the vehicle, you'll see a lot of little black things on the ground. Please be very wary of them seen on the Alexander property, guys. None of them's famous. Well, the sheep that are required to depict Middle Earth, Middle England, is the black-faced Suffolk breed. They've got black faces and black socks on them. As for these sheep, they're all white. They're a Romney breed. Different breed, different place, different time. But I suppose at the end of the day, feed them a bit of mint sauce. The inside edge, bro. The inside edge. When we get to the bottom car park, guys, you are most welcome to leave your bags upon board here. I'm sure the bus will be all sweet out here. It's a working farm, so please be careful of them. But if you stick to the paths today, away from the water edges, which is man-made lake, and the lake itself, you'll be sweet. Once you guys get up to Bag End, you'll see there's a large drop-off, so please be careful once up there also. Hobbit holes themselves, guys, will let you stand into the facade to get your photograph taken next to it, but we're not allowed to walk over top of them, hence the safety reasons as well as maintenance reasons. And as I said before, guys, the whole farm itself, it is a smoke-free farm. But once all that's said and done, welcome to the Hobbiton movie set.
Drive in, bro. Up there in front of you guys in that lowland is a part of Bagshot Road. Hobbiton, right up on the left hand side of the hill, above that retaining wall, that is Bag End, Bilbo and Frodo's home. Lovely round tree you see just behind me here, guys, that is the party tree in front of that party field. Today our journey does start here, makes its way around this track. Motorboat was actually located in behind this hill. That's where the children came out, started begging Gandalf, left the fireworks off the back of the wagon. You all remember that? Where we left those fireworks guys, right about where you're standing. So next time you watch the movie, as you're all going to do when you get home guaranteed, you'll see that branch and that tree moving. You'll also see that part of Bagshot Road in behind Gandalf and Frodo as they make their way around the court there. As we make our way around today guys, plenty of photo opportunities, such as standing or sitting on the fireworks tree, capture those branches around you, photograph you can hang over your fireplace, if you've got one, or by the Hobbiton board there. They know all about contracts. Very fortunate to have what we have there. We're purchased by Peter Jackson, off neighbouring dairy farmers up Buckland Road, used as fence lines on the dairy farm. When Peter Jackson purchased the hedges, had to build a fence in their place, still had to pay the farmer some money. So the farmer must have been pretty stoked, I reckon. Get rid of an ugly hedge, new fence built, still use some corn for it. Along the rear room though guys, if you go to the branch just next to it, about the front branch, you follow it out to where it walks to the T branch, on the end of a bit of black streak. I know that's a bit hard to see, so you can see the strip of my hand.
Where are we at?
Sure. Actually,
What do you think of that?
Ex-school guys that went down to the
Is there anything you could say?
and they got to stand.
What about you, Krabby? Are you cold, Tom?
No.
Like from an angle where we're going
We're walking up to Bag End. Oh, look at them.
Right.
And you suddenly get these whoosh,